These Liberals are driving me a bit nuts. I might have been a little bit that way in the first place, but they push you over the edge. This woke shit, it doesn't fly, guys. We're open-minded here. We really are. Not to the libtard bullshit woke think, though. Won't give in. Screw them. Love us. Everyone has an opinion about Canadian federal politics.
Oh, yeah.
What's funny is that the worse the scandal, the quieter the House leader speaks.
Yes.
Except when the convoy was here, they cheered them on in front of so many residents in Ottawa.
Exactly.
In my residence. They cheered on my residents who prevented them from going to the hospital, who prevented them from going to the grocery store, who prevented them from ambulances arriving at their homes. Mr. Speaker, there is a double standard on that side of the House, and we cannot stand for that.
Well, Stephanie Cousy, I guess she heard you, 'cause now KARINA the ghoul, won't shut up. Oh my God. She's ransacking, overreacting over everything. This stupid woman is a disaster, obviously. She's the House leader of these libtards, of this WEF agenda trying to sink us all. And she's so defensive. Cousy said one thing, and now Barlow can't get her to question without her completely overreacting and being like coddled by House Speaker Greg Fergus. This is a mess, guys. Let's take a peek. Let's take a look and a listen.
The honourable member from Northumberland, Peterborough South.
Well, Canadians don't have to wonder anymore. The Cost of Living Crisis Coalition, well, they never really left us. Just a few months ago, though, it was the NDP leader who said these Liberals are too weak, too selfish, and too beholden to corporate interests to fight for people. I couldn't agree more, Mr. Speaker. But today, he flip-flopped. He announced his full confidence in this Liberal Prime Minister. If this coalition is so sure of themselves, their poverty-inducing agenda, why not go ahead, go to Canadians, and call a carbon tax election?
The honourable leader of the government in the House of Commons.
Thanks, Mr. Speaker. Let me get this straight. The Conservative members of Parliament talk about reducing poverty and talk about helping Canadians through affordability challenges, but when we have a real thing on the table that's going to cut the GST on essential goods, they have to listen to their leader and oppose cutting taxes for Canadians. But, Mr. Speaker, this is just par for the course for the Conservatives. We know that the supposed guy that fights for freedom of speech doesn't want his MPs to speak freely. The real question is will he allow them to freely vote for Canadians and this tax cut? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The honourable member from Northumberland, Peterborough South.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, how can Canadians be reasonably expected to see that a costly coalition that got us into this economic quagmire could possibly see the way out? This Prime Minister has increased food costs by 35%. He's increased the cost of gasoline by over 50%. He's increased the cost of mortgage and housing by over 70%. Simple question, when will this Prime Minister allow for real chance, real opportunity, real hope by calling a carbon tax election?
The honourable leader of the government in the House of Commons.
A GST being removed on essential goods for the next couple of months, and the Conservatives want to vote against that. As we go into the holidays and families are thinking about buying toys and getting Christmas trees, and we are offering a GST removal on those very things, the Conservatives say, no, don't stand up for Canadians, don't help them through these tough times. Mr. Speaker, that's just par for the course and a pattern of behavior. And when you look in the dictionary, it actually starts with an H and ends with an hypocrisy. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Leader said the Liberals were too weak, too selfish,
too beholden to corporate interest to fight for Canadians. But it only took him 2 months to renege on his word, reaffirm his commitment to the Prime Minister and his costly coalition, and keep Canadians in carbon tax hell. Today he reaffirmed that he is committed and showed his confidence in this Prime Minister in quadrupling the carbon tax on farmers, on food, and fuel. How about a common sense solution? Axe the carbon tax on everything, for everyone, forever. Will the Prime Minister Canadians and call a carbon tax election?
The Honourable Leader of the Government in the House of Commons.
Mr. Speaker, we are delivering real relief for Canadians, and it is the Conservatives who are trying to now make life more expensive when they have an opportunity to help Canadians with the high cost of living. But this is unsurprising, Mr. Speaker, because it's from the same party whose leader was delivering donuts to people out here who were protesting, and yet this morning had protesters removed by police from his home, Mr. Speaker. The guy who cares about freedom of speech certainly doesn't like it when people oppose his views. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Member from Foothills.
Mr. Speaker, it's not good when protesters go to anyone's house, not just the Leader of the Opposition.
I'm going to ask the Honourable Member from Foothills to start again. The Honourable Member.
At a time when 2 million Canadians are forced to a food bank in a single month, when food inflation in Canada is 36% higher than it is in the United States, and a quarter of Canadians are going, 25% of children are going to school hungry, the House Leader of the Liberal government is making this a partisan thing about protesters at the Leader's house, when they should be disgusted that protesters are going to any house of any member of Parliament. I would hope she'll stand up and apologize for those comments.
Colleagues, the Honourable Leader of the Government in the House of Commons.
Mr. Speaker, I'm actually really glad to hear that from my honourable colleague, because no protester should be in front of anyone's house, except when the convoy was here, they cheered them on in front of so many residents in Ottawa.
Exactly, in my residence.
They cheered on my residents who prevented them from going to the hospital, who prevented them from going to the grocery store, who prevented them from ambulances arriving at their homes. Mr. Speaker, there is a double standard on that side of the House, and we cannot stand for that.
See you later.
Full Member from Cumberland Colchester.
Speaker, despite the foolishness that's been going on, there's a crisis that exists in Canada.
That's not nice.
Member from St. Albert, Edmonton, please control himself in this place or take himself outside of this room. I'm going to invite the Honourable Member from Cumberland. calm. Everyone, relax. The honourable member from Cumberland Colchester will start again.
Thanks very much, Mr. Speaker. Despite the messy split in September, it looks like Canada's NDP Liberal woke power couple has gotten back together again. And they're coming for Canadian hard-earned money. Canadians are not fooled by their temporary tax trickery. 53% more Nova Scotians are using food banks than 5 years ago. Almost 40,000 Nova Scotians are visiting food banks every month, and 12,000 of them are children. Here's a better and common sense solution. Axe the carbon tax on everything for everyone forever. Cheaper gas, groceries, and home heating, and everything that's shipped. Will the Prime Minister call a carbon tax election?
The Honourable Leader of the Government in the House of Commons.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, if that member and any of the members of the Conservative Party of Canada actually cared about affordability for Canadians, they would support this measure to remove the GST on essential items that we are putting forward that is going to help Canadians over the coming months get through these challenging times. But, Mr. Speaker, this is a pattern of behaviour. They say one thing, they do another, whether that is with regards to supporting Canadians through affordability challenges, muzzling their members of Parliament who try to speak up on behalf of their constituents, or taking away, removing protesters by police that don't agree with them. Mr. Speaker, they are completely disrespectful to Canadians. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
We'll wrap it up right there, Aaron, Kennedy, and Looney. So, KARINA the ghoul, is a stifling issue that Canadians have to deal with. She's the House Leader of these nut job, Kool-Aid, cult-drinking, liberal, special people. Like, they're a bunch of loons. They're libtards. Name them that. They want groups? Give them a group. You're a libtard. And Canadians know that you are junk for our future. We're fed up. These things are not working anymore. Hear the people that are telling it back to you. Your constituents reject you. All of your ideas are disgusting and short-lived. You're done. All of you. If you're not, like, just not elected in the forthcoming election, whenever you give that one to us, you will be finished after that. I cannot believe that you would be a part of this party and think that you have a future in this country. Just saying. Stephanie Cousy, you did let that dumb woman know. Stephanie Cousy, much respect. Come on the show. Love to hear your platform. Aaron, Kennedy, and Looney, like, share, subscribe, get notified. These liberals are driving me a bit nuts. I might have been a little bit that way in the first place, but they push you over the edge. This woke shit, it doesn't fly, guys. We're open-minded here. We really are. Not to the libtard bullshit woke think, though. Won't give in. Screw them. Love us. Take care, Aaron, Kennedy, and Looney. See you next video. Everyone has an opinion about Canadian federal politics.